the cost, the price of admission for your new business, the price of admission on maybe your new relationship, the price of admission to a meaningful, fulfilling life is guilt. What do I mean by that? The guilt of saying no to the old, saying no to what you used to charge, saying no to other people's judgments of you, what they think you should be doing. Maybe saying no to your kids because you're focusing right now on really showing up in a very different way, creating new habits and new systems for yourself as a business owner. Maybe it's the guilt of, I don't know. I want you guys to comment here below. Where's the guilt for you guys? What's the admission price to your new life? Where's the guilt? For some of you, it's walking away from an old career or an old job, even though you're good at it and it's paid the bills for like the last 10 years, the last 5 years. The guilt of saying, you know what? I want something more fulfilling. For some of you, it's, again, guilt around family. For some of you, it's guilt around relationship. The cost of admission for a meaningful, fulfilling life is guilt. Oh boy. Ain't that the damn truth? You want to put a hashtag 2020? That would be my hashtag for last year. Okay, let's take a look at here. Let's take a look. Not doing the easier corporate 9-to-5 route like I'm supposed to. There's the guilt, right? Of, oh, my family thinks, my my siblings or my colleagues think, or even, I think I should be taking the easier route, the safer route. Lisette, guilt of getting something better than what I deserve. Oh boy, drop the fucking mic here. Who can relate? Hey, drop the fucking mic right here. So let's continue with this conversation. Comment in the chat. What do you feel guilty about here as you're moving into this next evolution of you, this new identity? What's the price of admission for you? For some people, it's like, oh my God, if I do so much better and so much better financially, maybe my husband's going to leave me. Not be surprised at how many women come here with that fear. Or maybe I'm going to lose my friends. Or maybe it's not just the fear of failure, it's the fear of success. Huh? Boy. All right, I'm going to continue reading these answers here. Guilt of getting something better than what I deserve. Let's talk about deserving. Who actually dictates what you deserve? Who dictates what you deserve? God? Is there a God Almighty out there that says you can or you can't have it? You're ready, you're not ready? Who dictates what you deserve? I'm going to draw everyone's attention to some of the most incredible transformational work I've ever come across. A man named Neville Goddard talks about the power of your imagination, your consciousness. Please do go into the membership site, into the recommended reading resources on Audible. On Amazon, you can pick up some of his work. One of the most phenomenal books I've ever read, I read it like a Bible, is that your inner conversations are creating your world. My business, my life certainly turned around when I understood the laws of creation, which is whatever's impressed in your subconscious must express. And there's nobody out there dictating what you deserve but you. Kind of a hard pill to swallow. Kind of a hard pill to swallow. Oh my God, did I create all this struggle and strife for myself? Maybe. Neville Goddard, check out Your Inner Conversations Are Creating Your World. That's a book and an audio book as well in the membership site and the recommended resources. Fantastic. Fantastic. Change your life. Mariana says guilt around family responsibilities. Yep. Nicole, guilt of being selfish with my time or my energy. Wow. Yeah. I'm inviting you guys to actually address the feelings that nobody really wants to have, what we call the shadow parts of ourselves, right? When we don't allow those shadow parts of ourselves, we get into the addiction of whatever it is, shopping, the addiction of avoidance, the addiction of eating our emotions, the addiction of, I don't know, rescuing other people in order to avoid feeling these shadow feelings. So let's just talk about the guilt today. Let's just open up a little stage for you guys. And I promise you, when you face these feelings that we never want to feel, on the other side of that is the most incredible clarity, is the knowing, is the intuition. And in order for you guys to really be successful as entrepreneurs, you're going to have to take that intuition in and act on it. So let's tune in here. I love this conversation. Mikkel says career change, spending money, investing on risk, not moving quickly enough. So the guilt of making a career change, spending money on myself. Oh my God, this was risky. Do I deserve it? How many other people have this guilt? Oh my God, am I really worth investing all this money into myself? Shit. Damn right you are. Right? You're going to show up as your ideal client. How you show up is how your ideal clients are going to show up. So congratulate yourselves, pat yourselves on the back for investing in yourself and showing up here today, because your client, you're going to be able to have that conversation with them as well. Kelly says, sometimes I feel like committing to the business is taking away from myself the time to do whatever I want. Yeah, there's a little bit of a dichotomy, contradiction there. There's a bit of a sacrifice, right? There is a little bit of the duality, yeah, but it's only for a short time. So when you have those thoughts, my recommendation is to keep this in context. You guys are building an airplane right now. You're building a vehicle that can take you around the world, stop at any city, pick up as many clients as you want. And you're pulling over the wing over here, the propeller over there, soldering the cockpit and getting all the seats in, the lining of the plane, putting the gas in the engine, the Facebook ads, and then the thing takes off. There's a lot of work building a freaking system, a sales attraction system like you guys are doing here. And you can take as long as you need to. There's no watch this. Oh my God, I should be done. I should be in module 5 by now. You should be further ahead. I shouldn't be in module 1 still, module 2. Why is it taking me so long to work on this dang about me story? Anybody here still working in their about me page story? Totally triggered me, says Kelly. There you go. It's meant to. On purpose. All the yucky feelings. Can you love yourself anyways through all that? That's why we put it in the front. It's engineered purposefully for you guys to bring up all of this past junk. You know why? Because your millions are going to be made. Write this down. Write this down, lovers. Your millions are going to be made by turning your lemons into lemonade. Your lemons into lemonade. And there is a unique, delicious concoction of lemonade that only you are here to really bring the world with your experience, with your perceived failure, right? That you're here to teach other people. Trisha says, walking away from my family and my dad, my sister, I'm really feeling guilty now because I finally decided to move to another state without telling them. There you go. Doing what's best for you versus, they need me. Right? Feeling guilty about that. Investing in myself, taking risks. Cynthia, the guilt of not being financially successful enough to be able to help my sister and be able to provide my daughter and myself independent of a man. Guilt. Now, feel this guilt fully here. And I want you guys to do one more thing. Here's another invitation. I want you to write this down. This guilt of this, this guilt of that. Just like when you were how old? want to go back into this trigger. Why are you feeling guilty right now at this time in your life? Just like when I was 12 years old and blah, blah, blah happened. And what were you wearing? Let's use this feeling. Use all of your feelings as access points to reclaim whatever is being triggered right now and bring this back, bring parts of yourself back into wholeness. It's a lot easier to run a multi-million-dollar business as a whole, complete adult versus wounded, triggered child. And I got plenty of wounded, triggered child parts. Plenty. Just like when I was, this feeling of I don't deserve it, or I feel guilty because I'm doing what's right for me versus what's right for my family, or just like when I was, and don't overthink this. You guys can't get this wrong. It's the first thing that comes to your mind. How old were you? What were you wearing? Fear of failure, fear of losing my vacation time if I have my own business. That's really great to take a look at that. Oh boy, right? This is the fear of success. If I have this booming business, I won't have any more time for myself. I won't have any more time for my health. I won't have any more time for my, whatever it is you want. I'll be so successful. This is also a really valid fear. Losing my husband because of my growth as a person while he wants to stay where he's at. Tennis. Yep. Take a look at all this. Guilt, not being able to manifest the life I want no matter what I do or try. Working 2 jobs, working as an RA anywhere since I have done in years, just to have double income to begin with. Fear of making it really hard and spending money without getting the return I'm hoping for. A lot of fear, guilt. The guilt, Corinne says that I won't be able to serve those who truly can't afford my services now that I've hiked up my prices. Oh yeah, I gotta stay small so that these other people can be served at my expense. Really important. Just like when I want you guys to take this, whatever the fear is, if you've commented here about some of the fears that you have around growing your business, or making an investment in yourself, or maybe not being adequate, not being capable enough, not being ready yet, or the guilt of, oh my God, there's all this, there's the shame, there's the guilt, and there's the fear. Bink, bink, bink. Let's cover these really, the big 3 here. You're going to get triggered in your business. Trust me. Some hater is going to come and, snap on you. Somebody's going to send you a nasty message. Client's going to tell you no. Something's going to happen. You're going to go to do a video and yikes. Someone's going to book a breakthrough call and you'll be like, oh shit, this is getting real. You're going to have too many clients all of a sudden. You're going to say, wow, can I handle this? And my invitation for all of you guys, no matter where you found this trigger or this, what I call these access points, right? Because the feelings, again, give you information. And I want you guys to be like badass fucking business babes, coming from a whole adult mind, able to make decisions and take action instead of living in the trigger and the self-doubt, heightened nervous system. Calm, focused, whole. This is where real transformation happens. And I think the whole world's going through this awakening right now, FYI. I know I am. Man, what a crazy year this has been. So what are you wearing? How old are you? And the invitation for you here is to actually take some time when you're done this call. Calm your body, calm your mind, and you go back in time as your now self. So here's Vanessa with the hair and, the shirt. And I go back into meeting my 12-year-old self, let's say. That was Marianne. And to validate her feelings. Hey, it's okay that you feel whatever it is, the fear or the guilt or the shame. Number 1, you validate that. Because there's an energy leak. That little part of yourself is just saying, hey, love me, love me, love me. Even if you're 56 years old and you're running your business, it's that part saying, hey, I'm triggered. I'm just coming here to say, love me. So you go back, you validate her feelings. Of course you feel like that. It's normal for you to feel it that way, considering what you've been through. And then what would you tell her about your life? What would you tell her? What advice would you give her? What would that part of you need to hear? What does she need to hear that she never heard? What piece of advice would you give her? Jenna says you had no control and your heart is what matters. Right on. Change is good. Don't be afraid. You will be fine in this new world. What piece of advice would you give her? What does she need to hear from you? You're safe. Yeah. You're actually reparenting that part of yourself. It's not your fault. Yeah. What would you tell her? What does she need to hear? No one gets to decide what you create in your life but you. They don't know any better. Money actually does grow on trees. Go spend away. Yeah. We're all meaning-making machines, right? So that part of yourself that's coming up here is saying, hey, love me. Hey, I'm your trigger. Come and love me. Is asking for you to like reparent that. Let's make that part whole. Let's stop being like a flashlight and let's bring our energy back into like being a laser beam. Let's reclaim all parts of ourselves. So what would you tell her? And then does she want a hug? Does she want to, sometimes you might go back to that inner child and she's like, screw you, bitch. I'm not listening to you. You've been ignoring me for 20 fucking years. That's okay too. You might spend some more time with her. It's not just a one-time deal. What would you tell her? Does she want a hug? Does she want a kiss? Does she want you to pick her up and hold her? And I want you guys to close your eyes. Let's just take a moment, a couple breaths. Just take a couple breaths and close your eyes. And then I want you to show her your amazing life. Grab her by the hand. Show her some of the biggest milestones, the biggest things you've created in your life. Show her what's coming here. Show her what you're creating. Bring her with you. Show her some of the biggest things that, you've created in your life. Actually, she's created in her life. That part of you has actually served you in some really big, profound ways. Show her how awesome her future is, some of the big milestones. Bring her with you. Hold her hand and bring her with you into the future. Maybe ask her what she needs from you now. What does she need from you now? And then jot down anything that came up for you guys. Jenna says a good kick in the butt. There you go. My invitation with you, for those of you who have gone on this little mini journey here, is how can you spend the next 5 days, the next week with this part of yourself? How can you bring them with you into your now life? Waking up in the morning, what does Vanessa want and need today? That part of you, not ignoring them, but addressing them. What do you want and what does she want and need today? The family dynamics, it's so interesting how, I have these two signs in my office. One of them says, enjoy the journey. And the other one says, shine big, shine bright, shine. And it's like right in front of my dang desk. And how, what's interesting is how we are meaning making machines, and something that happened 20 years ago is unaddressed, left unaddressed, is still driving the train, driving the bus, driving the vehicle, driving the life, driving the relationships, driving the business. And we have these relationship dynamics with our family members. Oh my gosh, it's not safe to be that big, that visible, to own even maybe my knowing. Owning your gifts. You might have been shunned for that in the past, or you could see a sibling struggling and feel bad for them. So limit your own growth. Super powerful. The answers are all there if we just give ourselves the time and space.